Good morning. It is Wednesday, November 26th, and we're live from Bloomberg World Headquarters. You're in the loop. You are watching In the Loop live on Bloomberg Television, streaming on your mobile devices and Bloomberg.com. Well, do you TiVo? That's what a lot of us used to say when it came to watching our favorite programs. Well, the digital video recording company was almost left for dead a few years ago when other cable companies began putting in their own recording technologies. Now the company has staged a comeback with much of their subscriber growth in other parts of the world, Europe, to be specific. TiVo reported earnings last night that missed Wall Street estimates, but still subscribers jumped 32% to 5.1 million. Viewers were drawn to new mobile features. With me to look at these challenges and also opportunities for TiVo is the president and CEO, Tom Rogers, a veteran of the cable television world, right, Tom?
Been around it a long time.
So, we were talking a little bit about your company earlier, and noting that, now you've got new forms of content, right? You have Netflix, you have Amazon Prime, and you've got YouTube. So in some ways, have those companies, those content platforms really helped revive TiVo's youth?
Well, TiVo now frames the entirety of the viewing experience. Recording is part of it. But the more content, the better from our point of view. Because what we do is we take linear channels, regular television channels, video on demand, TV everywhere, streaming services like Netflix, web video, put it all together into a single experience so you can get anything you want whenever you want it, because we have mobility to that as well. So the more content, the better. Certainly Amazon, Netflix are part of that. And what we do...
How big a part, Tom? I mean, are they getting bigger and bigger?
Well, people are recording somewhat less and watching streaming services somewhat more.
Yeah.
And so in the scheme of that, those forms of content are more important. Traditional television channel ratings are down, and in some cases down precipitously. But from our point of view, that doesn't matter, because we provide it all. And certainly live television and recorded TV are still going to have a very important role as the streaming services get bigger and bigger and more prominent.
Right, and I noticed on your TiVo app, for instance, right, on the mobile app, there's some content, though, that you can't still access, right? You can't access HBO and you can't access Stars. Why is that? What's the issue there, Tom?
Well, we're generally used as a substitute cable box today. So cable subscribers have access to HBO and HBO on demand through their cable operator.
Okay, on their mobile phones.
Right, whereas well, they could have it through their mobile phones. The ability to take programming and bring it around the world is something that pay TV providers generally don't allow. But all the broadcast and cable channels we enable for people to get wherever they are in the world, which is a terrific use of the TiVo Romeo function. And it really contributed to our hitting 5 million subscribers. We had record net revenue, highest net revenue in the company's history. We beat estimates on revenue. We beat estimates on EBITDA. Your reference to earnings miss really had nothing to do with the operations of the company. It was a taxes, expense issue that people hadn't modeled in. But from an operating point of view, we were getting congratulations on the calls last night from analysts that were very pleased with the numbers.
And you're growing a lot in Europe, right? I mean, you're expanding quite a bit there. Is that partly because, the cable operations in Europe are a little bit behind, right, what they are here in the U.S.? I mean, it's
actually not. You turn on your television today in the UK, where Virgin is the cable operator, 60% of all the subs have TiVo, a TiVo branded experience.
Okay.
And they are way ahead of most cable operators here in rolling this out and getting this done. Germany is a country that is considerably behind the rest of the world.
And it's a big television, pay-TV market.
We though, provide TiVo and the full TiVo experience in Scandinavia to the largest cable operator there. So certain countries are ahead of the United States in terms of rolling this out. We served out now 19 of the top 25 cable operators in the United States. And we are by far the largest provider of advanced television to the cable industry in the U.S. We have a separate deal with Comcast, and so put them in, then it's 20 of the 25. And so we are the ones who are bringing this advanced television both abroad and in the U.S., and our cable subscriptions in North America jumped 69% in terms of our net adds, in terms of subs. So that's really growing very strongly.
It is, but Tom, as I understand it, Congress recently passed a bill, did they not, where they basically are going to allow, the FCC is going to basically allow cable operators to phase out certain sort of technologies in their cable boxes that allow for DVRing. And is that going to hurt your business?
Well, that's not quite what they did. What they did is they said that there would be a sunset of cable operators having to use cable cards for their own boxes.
Right.
They continue to have to support TiVo with cable cards. We don't particularly like cable cards. That is the thing that enables the customer to get the signals from the cable operator in a TiVo box when they take out the generic cable box and put our box in instead.
Right.
We want another form of technology to do that because cable cards
okay
are
with them
clunky.
phasing that out?
We want it phased out. What we want is to make sure that during that transition, cable cards for existing customers are supported. We entered into a deal with Comcast to do just that. So Comcast is going to fully support our efforts to get to the next generation technology while supporting cable cards along the way. Now the FCC's created a process for the next year to come up with an approach that the FCC can put in place that will hopefully create a smooth transition, and we're going to work with them as part of that.
And Tom, speaking about video streaming platforms and just video platforms, you know, we had an interview yesterday with Chet Kanogia, of the the CEO of the company Aereo, and I just want to play one part of the conversation we had with Chet about just this whole future of video streaming.
I'm purely driven by, whatever happens in the market, right? If you think it's bad for the consumer, well, I think the consumer should get to decide what's bad for the consumer. I think companies have a responsibility to put, at least I think of it this way, put your best product out there and charge the best price you possibly can for it. And if somebody's willing to pay for it, great. If somebody's not willing to pay for it, they're going to find another way to do it.
So he firmly believes that over-the-top is the future, and that a la carte pricing is going to be the future for cable operators, for pay TV providers. And would you agree with that? I
love all the publicity that you've been giving Aereo the last couple days. Because
well, it's not publicity.
Well, it is, because the company is no longer around, and what we like about it is we created a new product called TiVo OTA, or TiVo over the air, which gives all the Aereo people who liked Aereo the notion that you could get over-the-air channels and record them without having to have a cable subscription and a cable DVR or a satellite DVR. And that is flying off the shelves for us because people are finding there's a legal way to do what the Supreme Court said Aereo couldn't do because it's illegal. We are very much
realize that this can happen.
What they didn't do is integrate what you said, over-the-top content, into that, and we do integrate over-the-top with over-the-air into a single offering.
All right, Tom, great to see you. Thank you so much. Tom Rogers, the president and CEO of TiVo. We'll be back.
Thank you.